Ding dong merrily on high.
Welcome to a very special Conversion Cast. It's the Christmas Cast for 2011. I'm Brian Massey, the Conversion Scientist, and every year we at Conversion Sciences like to bring you a special greeting, a card, but not an ordinary card, a card that we hope will convert your typical day into a day full of joy, full of mirth, or full of happiness. And isn't that what the holidays are all about? We want you to know that we appreciate the fantastic year that we've had and that you've been a part of it. Because teaching and learning is such an integral part of what we do here, we wanted to share with you our thoughts on the card that we chose for you and hope that you learn something about how you can bring more joy, more mirth, and more happiness to those around you using some of these techniques. And then, of course, after the holidays, you can use these techniques on your website, on your landing pages, in your emails, and get more of the people who visit you to turn into leads and sales. And isn't that what the holidays are all about? I'm sorry, isn't that what conversion is all about? Our goal is to find a card that is off the shelf, but something that we think will convert well. This is the card we chose this year, wishing you a season of fun. And there's always the question as to whether you're going to go with the Merry Christmas thing, the more generic season's greetings, or Happy Holidays thing. The truth of the matter is that in conversion, the more specific you can be, the better. However, since we have folks from all over the world that we want to express our gratitude and happy holidays to, we chose to select something a little bit more generic. We thought that fun was a particular reflection of our brand and our culture, so this card fit very well. So what is a conversion in this holiday context? Who are we trying to convert to what? Sounds a little bit self-serving for a holiday greeting. Oh, but it's not. In our case, a conversion is taking your typical day and converting it into a day of joy, mirth, and happiness. And exactly what sort of metrics do we follow when we're doing this? Well, we measure expressions, not impressions. Obviously, we'd be very interested in the open rates for the card. The inside won't get read unless it's opened. And then we're going to be interested in the CTR, the Christmas tingle rate. And then, as always, the conversion rate, which we defined earlier. All of this, of course, will be measured by Giggle Analytics, which is a company dedicated to measuring holiday cheer and joy. One thing we particularly liked about this card was the red envelope. This is high contrast. When this arrives in their mailbox with all of the other cards and bills and things, the red envelope will stand out. The message, of course, has to be succinct. We recommend that it be less than 50 characters, and in this case it passes that beautifully at 27 characters. Now, we're not going to be satisfied just to use our own judgment on this card. After all, one of the biggest mistakes we make in marketing is marketing to ourselves, using our personal opinions to decide what should be on a page, what should be on a website, and of course, what should be in a holiday card, when in fact we should be worried about what the recipient thinks. So one of the tools we use is Attention Wizard, and it tells us when somebody first looks at the card, in those first few seconds, what's going to draw their eye, and we want to make sure that their eye is drawn to the important part of the message. Here's the Attention Wizard heat map for this card. We're a little bit concerned about this hotspot on the G. Don't know what that's about, but what's more important is that the word fun gets a lot of attention, and that's really what we want the reader to focus in on. We think that if they get the fun message on the cover, the open rates will go up and they'll read the inside. Now, the message on the card is important, wishing you a season of fun. And the thing is that when you're presenting a message to somebody, you want to make sure that you land the what's in it for them message. Wishing you a season of fun is a little bit soft. We could be stronger here maybe if we said giving you a season of fun. Of course, you want to be able to keep your promises, and quite frankly, as fantastic as this card may be, I don't think it's going to be able to deliver on that promise. Let's turn our attention now to the inside. why we chose this card. First of all, there's a nice big area here for personalization. And as we know, personalization will increase your conversion rates in most cases. You can apply this to your landing pages and to your emails. Of course, the copy is absolutely crucial, and there are a lot of reasons to like this copy. Hope you have plenty of relaxing, laid-back moments, a laugh-out-loud session or two, and at least a couple of times when you look around and say to yourself, I'm going to remember this. The reason we like this is because it uses some colloquialisms. It's a bit more casual in voice, and that is a reflection of our culture. I'll tell you this, you'll be better off writing for who you are than you will be writing for who you think your audience wants you to be. Be genuine, be authentic. That's the catchword for good copy. Now, for those readers who are going to be scanning, and scanning is a common occurrence, we may want to bulletize a couple of these things. Of course, we can't change this card now. It has to be off the shelf. Those are the rules of the game. But Hallmark might consider bulletizing these so that the scanner sees them. And of course, every high converting card is going to have a bold call to action. Enjoy your holidays. You can't ask somebody to do something unless you tell them what you want them to do. We want you to enjoy your holidays. But I think the primary reason this copy is most effective is because it involves a little storytelling. Your reader is not going to take action until they imagine themselves taking action. And in just a sentence, this writer paints a picture for the reader and puts them in it. You look around and say to yourself, I'm going to remember this. Every one of us is going to read our own holiday experience into that. Some of you are going to be reading in, sitting there, looking around, children playing, presents being opened, and you're going to say to yourself, I'm going to remember this. The beauty of this is that it uses the story and allows you to put your own experience in. You don't have to work that hard to figure out what your reader wants. You're going to let them fill in for you, and that is a very powerful technique. Of course, whenever we're trying to measure the effectiveness of a communication, we sometimes have to be a little creative. We have to find other ways of measuring the effectiveness of what we're doing. In the case of this card, we thought about adding in a little insert similar to the KISS metrics pop-up in which they ask for feedback. In this case, we'd ask if the reader is experiencing any joy, any mirth, or any happiness as they read the card. The logistics of this didn't quite work out for us, couldn't figure out how to make it happen, but just keep in mind that sometimes you have to get a little creative and innovative in your measurement. Perhaps we'll follow up with a survey and see how people reacted to the card in a more qualitative way. As always, we hope you've learned something from this little interaction. We'd like to leave you now with a message from us, from our heart, a little personalization. We're so glad that you've been a part of our business this year and in previous years, as a friend, as a client, as an acquaintance. Please accept our wishes for a fun holiday season, and we do hope that you enjoy your holidays.
Let's keep the bells be swung, and I-oh, by priest and people sung.